Want to make your home look absolutely stunning while boosting its value? Imagine walking up to your house and instead of plain, boring landscaping, you're greeted with a lush display of vibrant, blooming flowers framing your home like a masterpiece. Sounds amazing, right? Well, you're in luck, because today we're diving into 25 of the best flowering foundation plants that will instantly transform your curb appeal and make your home stand out in the neighborhood. From low-maintenance beauties to eye-catching showstoppers, these plants will give your home that picture-perfect charm. Ready to discover which ones will work best for your space? Let's get into it. First on our list, hydrangeas. These classic beauties are a must-have for home gardeners looking to create a lush, inviting landscape. With large, vibrant blooms and lush foliage, hydrangeas can turn a simple front yard into a real showpiece. Plant them as a hedge, privacy screen, or even as a stunning focal point, and you'll instantly elevate your home's curb appeal. Best of all, they're low maintenance and have no major pest or disease issues, so you can enjoy their beauty without the hassle. Plus, come fall, their foliage transforms into gorgeous seasonal colors for an extra touch of charm. Hydrangeas thrive with plenty of moisture and can handle full sun if they get enough water. But if you want full, plump leaves with a little less upkeep, partial shade will do the trick, though you might get fewer blooms. And here's a pro tip. Deadheading spent flowers will keep them blooming longer, so don't be afraid to give them a little trim. Next up, roses. A true classic in any garden, roses bring timeless beauty and unmatched elegance to your home's foundation planting. Now, while some varieties can be a bit high maintenance, there are plenty of easy care options that even beginners can enjoy. If you're new to roses, knockout roses are a fantastic choice. They're disease-resistant, low maintenance, and bloom like crazy, giving you stunning color without the hassle. Want to make a bold statement? Climbing roses are perfect for dressing up fences, trellises, or even a front porch. One standout variety is Peggy Martin, a vigorous climber that creates a breathtaking cascade of blooms. To keep your roses thriving, give them plenty of sunlight and feed them well. These beauties are heavy feeders and love a nutrient-rich soil. They also need moisture with good drainage, so instead of frequent shallow watering, go for a deep soak to keep their roots happy. And here's a key tip. Always water the soil, not the foliage, to prevent disease and keep those blooms looking flawless. Now let's talk about gardenias, a fragrant favorite that adds both beauty and a heavenly scent to your home's landscape. These elegant shrubs are loved for their creamy white blooms and glossy evergreen foliage, making them a perfect choice for foundation planting. Plus, they provide year-round interest, so your garden stays lush even when flowers aren't in bloom. But here's the thing, gardenias can be a little picky. They thrive in warm, humid conditions and need well-draining, acidic soil to flourish. Give them morning sun and afternoon shade for the best results, and don't forget to keep their soil consistently moist, but not soggy. And here's a pro tip. Regular feeding with an acid-loving plant fertilizer will keep those blooms coming. If you love a garden that looks as good as it smells, gardenias are a must-have. If you're looking for a burst of color that comes back year after year, then azaleas and rhododendrons are the perfect foundation plants for your home. These lush, flowering shrubs create a stunning visual impact with their vibrant pinks, reds, purples, and whites, turning your landscape into a springtime masterpiece. The best part? Azaleas and rhododendrons are easy to grow if you give them what they love: dappled shade, well-draining acidic soil, and consistent moisture. They thrive under tall trees or along shaded walkways, making them an ideal choice for those tricky spots where other plants struggle. One key tip: don't plant them too deep. Their roots like to stay near the surface, so a shallow planting with a good layer of mulch will keep them happy and thriving. And when they're done blooming, a light pruning will keep them looking tidy and encourage even more flowers next season. Next up, let's talk about agapanthus, also known as Lily-of-the-Nile, a graceful and eye-catching perennial that brings height, movement, and elegance to your foundation planting. With its tall, globe-like blooms in shades of blue, purple, and white, Agapanthus makes a stunning statement along walkways, garden beds, or even as a low-maintenance border. One of its best features: in mild climates, it stays evergreen, keeping your landscape lush year-round, even in winter. Agapanthus thrives in full sun but appreciates some afternoon shade in hotter climates. To get the most blooms, make sure it gets at least 6 to 8 hours of sunlight daily. And here's the best part: it's easy to grow. While most varieties are adaptable to different soil types, A. africanus is a great option if you have acidic soil. Just plant it in well-drained soil, and you'll enjoy repeat blooms throughout the summer with the right care. Up next, let's talk about Chinese fringe flower, a stunning, low-maintenance foundation plant that thrives in warm climates. Don't be fooled by its delicate-looking foliage. This plant is heat-tolerant and tough, making it an excellent choice for home gardeners who want effortless beauty all year long. One of its best features: the colorful foliage. With shades of red, purple, and green, plus vibrant pink or white flowers, this evergreen shrub adds depth and contrast to your landscaping, even when it's not in bloom. It's incredibly easy to grow, too. While it tolerates partial shade, you'll get richer foliage colors and brighter flowers with full sun exposure. But if you live in a hot climate, a little afternoon shade will help keep it looking fresh. And the best part? No constant pruning, no major pests, and no disease issues, just a gorgeous plant that keeps your curb appeal on point. Now let's talk about Weigela, a versatile, show-stopping foundation plant that adds effortless charm to any landscape. With its lush foliage and stunning spring blooms, this large but manageable shrub is a perfect choice for home gardeners looking to elevate their curb appeal. Whether you plant it as a standalone specimen, a hedge, or in mass groupings, Weigela never fails to impress. One of its best perks: deer and other wildlife tend to leave it alone, so if you're tired of critters snacking on your plants, Weigela is a smart pick. Just keep in mind, it's not drought tolerant, so if you live in a dry climate, regular watering is a must. Make sure to plant it in moist, well-drained soil, and you'll be rewarded with vibrant spring flowers and stunning fall foliage as the seasons change. And the best part? Minimal upkeep. A quick trim after flowering is all it needs to stay looking its best. If you want a burst of bright color to welcome spring, Forsythia is the foundation plant for you. This early bloomer practically glows with brilliant yellow flowers, covering its branches in a dazzling display before most other plants even wake up for the season. And once the flowers fade, it transforms into a lush green shrub with graceful, arching branches, adding structure and beauty to your landscape all summer long. Now, while fall color isn't always guaranteed, in the right climate, Forsythia can surprise you with shades of yellow, red, or even purple. It's a low-maintenance shrub once established, thriving mostly on rainwater, though it does need a little extra care in the first few years. For best results, plant it in rich, well-drained soil, but don't worry, it's incredibly adaptable. And here's a pro tip: after it blooms, thin out the interior and shape it up to prevent fungal issues and keep it looking neat and full. If you're looking for a hardy, easy-care shrub that delivers seasonal beauty with minimal effort, then Spirea is a must-have for your foundation planting. This tough yet elegant shrub bursts into clusters of delicate flowers in shades of pink, white, or red, depending on the variety, making it a gorgeous addition to any garden. Spirea isn't just about the flowers, though. Many varieties offer stunning foliage colors that change throughout the seasons, from bright green in spring to golden, orange, or deep red in fall. It's the perfect plant for adding texture, movement, and year-round interest to your landscape. Best of all, it thrives in almost any condition. Spirea grows well in full sun, loves well-drained soil, and is incredibly low maintenance. A light pruning after blooming will keep it compact and encourage even more flowers next season. If your foundation planting needs a lush, low-maintenance option for shaded areas, then hostas are a perfect pick. Known for their gorgeous, textured foliage, hostas create a beautiful mounded border along walkways and garden beds. And while they're mostly prized for their striking leaves, they also surprise you with delicate white or purple flowers in the summer, adding an extra touch of charm. These shade-loving perennials thrive in partial to deep shade, making them an ideal choice for those tricky spots where other plants struggle. Just keep in mind, gold varieties need a bit more light, while other types show their best color in the shade. To keep them thriving, fertilize once in early spring to kickstart the growing season. And when it comes to watering, less is more. A deep soak once or twice a week is all they need to stay happy and hydrated. Let's talk about the tea olive, a beloved plant in the American South, known for symbolizing warmth and hospitality. Planting one by the front door is practically a tradition where I live. This versatile plant can be trained into a small tree or left in its natural shrubby form, adding a touch of elegance to your landscape. The evergreen foliage keeps it looking attractive year-round, and its small white flowers release a fragrance that's simply delightful. If your soil tends to be clay-heavy, the tea olive is a fantastic choice. It thrives in those conditions as long as there's good drainage. While it prefers moisture, once established, this plant is surprisingly drought-tolerant. Pests usually leave it alone, making it a low-maintenance option. In warmer climates, be sure to plant it in a spot that gets some afternoon shade to keep it happy. A beautiful and hardy choice for your garden, the tea olive is sure to bring charm and fragrance to your home. If you want to add a tropical touch to your foundation planting, hibiscus is the way to go. With its large, eye-catching blooms in shades of red, pink, yellow, and white, this stunning shrub makes a bold statement in any landscape. Whether you plant it as a focal point or mix it into a lush border, hibiscus brings exotic beauty and vibrant color to your home's exterior. But it's not just about the flowers. Hibiscus is also a magnet for pollinators. Hummingbirds and butterflies love these showy blooms, making your garden feel even more alive. To keep them happy, plant your hibiscus in rich, well-drained soil and give them plenty of sunlight, at least 6 hours a day for the best blooms. They love moisture, so be sure to water regularly, but don't let them sit in soggy soil. A slow-release fertilizer will keep them thriving and blooming all season long. Looking for a low-maintenance, high-impact foundation plant? Catmint might be your perfect match. This hardy perennial is known for its soft, lavender blue flowers and aromatic foliage, making it a great choice for borders, under windows, or as a mass planting for a striking focal point in your landscape. The best part? Catmint thrives with very little effort. It's not picky about soil as long as there's good drainage, and once established, it's incredibly drought-tolerant. Perfect for gardeners who want beauty without the hassle. You won't need to worry about constant feeding either. Regular fertilizing isn't necessary. But if your catmint starts getting leggy, just give it a spring trim and it'll grow back fuller and healthier than ever. If you're looking for a year-round beauty that steals the show in winter, camellias are an absolute must-have. With their glossy evergreen foliage, they provide a lush, elegant backdrop for flowering perennials in spring and summer. But when the cooler months arrive, they take center stage with their large, showy white blooms, adding a touch of charm when most other plants have gone dormant. Camellias thrive in dappled light or partial shade, making them a great choice for areas where full sun might be too harsh. As they grow, their canopy helps cool and protect their roots, creating a naturally self-sustaining environment. To keep them happy, plant them in moist, rich, acidic soil with good drainage. While they're fairly resistant to pests and diseases, they can be susceptible to fungus due to their love for shade. A simple fix? Prune the interior of the plant to improve airflow, and you'll keep your camellias looking vibrant and healthy. If you want a low-maintenance, easy-to-grow shrub that brings color, depth, and seasonal interest to your landscape, Abelia is a fantastic choice. Whether used as a low hedge, mass planting, or accent shrub, Abelia delivers year-round charm with its semi-evergreen foliage and delicate, honeysuckle-like blooms. One of its best features: it's tough. Abelia is frost-tolerant, keeping its leaves in warmer climates while bouncing back beautifully in cooler zones after winter. Once established, it's also heat and drought-tolerant, making it perfect for low-maintenance gardening. For the best blooms, plant Abelia in full sun, though it can handle partial shade. Just expect fewer flowers. It thrives in well-drained, fertile soil, but is adaptable to poor conditions. If you're gardening in a dry climate and need a tough yet beautiful foundation plant, look no further than Stonecrop. This small, shrubby succulent is incredibly drought-tolerant, making it a perfect border plant for areas where water is scarce. One of the best things about Stonecrop: it's easy to manage. Thanks to its shallow root system, you can transplant it effortlessly. So if a plant outgrows its space, simply move it or share it with a friend. Unlike other spreaders, this one won't take over your garden. Stonecrop thrives in well-drained soil, even if it's rocky or nutrient-poor. This plant knows how to make the most of what it gets. And when summer and fall arrive, expect clusters of small, vibrant flowers that add a pop of color to your landscape. Once established, it's practically maintenance-free, requiring little water or care. If you're looking for a versatile, under-the-radar foundation shrub that delivers 3 seasons of beauty, let me introduce you to Deutzia. Related to hydrangeas, this spring-blooming gem is quickly gaining popularity, and for good reason. With delicate white or pink flowers, lush blue-green foliage, and a stunning golden transformation in the fall, Deutzia adds color and texture to your landscape all year long. One of the best things about Deutzia: it's easy to grow. Plant it in full sun for the best blooms and richest fall colors. If you live in a warmer climate, a little afternoon shade will help keep it looking fresh. It thrives in well-draining soil, but it's not picky about composition. For strong, vibrant growth, water your Deutzia regularly during its first year. After that, it becomes fairly drought-tolerant. And for maximum blooms, give it a springtime feeding with a balanced fertilizer. If you love the idea of a fragrant, low-maintenance foundation plant, then lavender is a must-have. But here's the secret: less is more when it comes to growing this Mediterranean beauty. Many gardeners struggle with lavender simply because they overcare for it. In reality, it thrives with minimal attention, preferring poor soil, little water, and plenty of sunshine. Lavender makes an excellent border plant, adding texture, color, and a calming scent to your landscape. It's also cold-tolerant and thrives in dry, hot climates, making it ideal for low-water gardens. To get the best blooms, plant lavender in sandy, alkaline soil with excellent drainage and give it at least 8 hours of bright sunlight daily. It can tolerate some shade, but you'll get fewer flowers. And here's a pro tip: skip the fertilizer. Instead, prune it after blooming to keep it bushy, dense, and thriving. If you want effortless color, texture, and pollinator-friendly blooms, Salvia is a must-have for your foundation planting. This vigorous grower has an herbaceous look but can become beautifully shrubby if given space to fill in, creating a lush, full display with minimal effort. One of the best things about Salvia: it thrives almost anywhere. It loves well-drained soil, but it's not picky. It will tolerate clay, sand, and even drier conditions. For the best blooms, plant it in full sun, but most varieties will still flower in partial shade. Salvia is also somewhat drought-tolerant, but in dry spells, a little extra watering will keep it happy. And forget the fertilizer, this plant doesn't need it. Just prune in the fall, and you'll get bushier, healthier growth in the spring. Plus, butterflies, bees, and hummingbirds love it, so expect your garden to come alive with pollinators. Looking for a beautiful, versatile, and low-maintenance foundation shrub? Aronia checks all the boxes. With its delicate white or pink flowers in spring, dark red edible berries in summer, and rich fall foliage, this plant offers year-round beauty while doubling as a great landscape anchor. One of the best things about Aronia: it thrives in challenging conditions. It loves acidic soil, but can adapt to alkaline soil just as easily. Plus, it's one of the few shrubs that tolerates boggy soil, making it a fantastic choice for areas with poor drainage. It's also incredibly low maintenance, rarely bothered by pests or diseases. It does best with some afternoon shade in hotter climates and should be watered during dry spells, but overall, it's adaptable and resilient. Fertilizing? Not necessary. A simple top dressing of compost once a year is all it needs to stay strong and healthy. If you're looking for a foundation plant that combines beauty, fragrance, and timeless charm, lilacs are a must-have. These stunning, spring-blooming shrubs fill your landscape with clusters of fragrant flowers, typically peaking right around Mother's Day, making them a seasonal favorite for many gardeners. Lilacs are also incredibly versatile. You can train them into a small tree for a more structured look, or keep them as a lush, shrubby hedge to create depth and color around your home. Either way, they'll add a touch of classic elegance to your landscape. To keep them thriving, plant lilacs in well-drained soil. They're not picky about pH or fertilize once a year in the spring, but avoid high nitrogen fertilizers as they can stunt blooming. Instead, use one that's higher in phosphorus to encourage big, beautiful flower clusters. If you're searching for a tough, adaptable, and multi-season foundation plant, Viburnum is an excellent choice. With fragrant spring flowers, summer berries, and stunning fall foliage, this hardy shrub brings year-round beauty to any landscape. One important note: some species of Viburnum can be invasive, so it's best to choose a native variety that suits your region. But don't worry, there are plenty of fantastic options that thrive as low-maintenance foundation plants. Viburnum grows well in moist, well-drained soil and can tolerate some shade, but for the best blooms and fruit production, plant it in full sun. And for a lush, well-shaped shrub, prune it yearly to maintain its form and encourage dense, healthy foliage. A spring feeding will give it a great start to the growing season. If you're looking for a stunning evergreen shrub that delivers year-round beauty, Japanese pieris is a fantastic choice. Often called the lily-of-the-valley shrub due to its cascading clusters of bell-shaped flowers, this slow-growing plant brings delicate charm to any landscape. Come spring, you'll get a double show as the flowers bloom, new foliage unfurls in rich shades of red and pink, adding even more visual interest. And here's the best part: the flower buds form in summer and fall and stay on the plant through winter, making this a true four-season standout. Japanese pieris thrives in full sun to partial shade and is deer-resistant, but pollinators love it. Just a quick word of caution: all parts of this plant, including the flowers, are toxic to pets and children, so be mindful of where you plant it. If you're looking for a low-maintenance foundation plant with big impact, then goat's beard is a fantastic choice. With its lush, shrubby foliage and fern-like texture, it adds depth and softness to any landscape. But the real showstopper: the flowers. In late spring, tall stems burst into frothy white flower clusters, creating a dramatic and eye-catching display. Goat's beard is also incredibly versatile. It prefers moist conditions over drought and can thrive in almost any soil type. Regardless of pH, for best results, mix in some compost at planting and fertilize once a year in spring to encourage healthy growth. Whether used as a standalone feature or a mass planting, goat's beard delivers texture, beauty, and elegance with very little effort. To wrap up our list, let's talk about a hidden gem in foundation planting: American beautyberry. This stunning shrub has a hydrangea-like structure with graceful foliage and delicate pink summer blooms that pollinators absolutely love. But the real showstopper, the berries. In late summer, clusters of vibrant magenta berries appear, adding a pop of unexpected color to your landscape. These berries last through fall, not only dressing up your garden, but also providing food for songbirds and overwintering wildlife. American beautyberry is tough and adaptable, thriving in both clay and sandy soils. And in autumn, its foliage turns a warm golden yellow, giving you yet another season of beauty. If you want a unique, wildlife-friendly shrub with year-round interest, this underappreciated beauty is a fantastic choice for your home's foundation. Thanks for watching our list of the 25 best flowering foundation plants that can instantly boost your home's value. I hope you found some inspiration to transform your outdoor space. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more gardening tips and ideas to elevate your home and garden. Share your favorite flowering plant from the list in the comments below and let us know how it's helped your garden shine. Until next time, happy gardening!